All right. Yep. I hear you, Ichthus. I see you there. Let's see, this might have fixed it. Hey, hey, there we go. I set all my gear up. Hi, everybody. Tyrell, how's it going? I set all my gear up, and right after I set it all up, it had been a while since I'd streamed, a few weeks, and I did a podcast interview, and I think everything switched over to a different app. But yes. Um, all right, so tonight we are going to talk a little bit about Operation Iron Coffin, which, if you guys have been following me on social media, you've probably been hearing a lot about it. But I'm still going to tell you more about it tonight because it is final order cutoff on June 1st, which that's almost a week away. But a lot of people are probably going to go to their comic book store on Wednesday to pick up your books. So now is the perfect time to get your pre-orders in. The way it works, if you're not familiar, is comics are usually pre-ordered via a comic shop or in person or online, and those pre-orders come in about a month before the book hits the shelves. So June 1st is our final order cutoff, and the book will be out on July 8th. And this is a preview copy of the book that I have here that was printed up for a comic book convention a couple months ago. And I showed this off in an earlier stream. We'll flip through that. I'm going to show a couple pieces of original art from it as well tonight, and point you guys in the direction of a bunch of interviews that we did. And so first thing though is hello Henry, hello. I've been good, Ichthus, by the way. Quick life update, I guess. So it's been before I get into all that, it's been kind of a crazy time. I've been really, really busy working on Iron Coffin, which has been really great because I'm enjoying the work, but it is a lot of work. And partway through issue 2, I lost one of my color helpers, and so my flatter, and so that made a little extra work for me. But I think I've got that problem solved now, and I'm really excited to get this third issue finished up, which is what I'm working on right now. So I've been working a lot, guys. Been working every day. I was working for 2-3 weeks straight finishing up this last issue, and man, oh man, I was exhausted. And then, unfortunately, I had a death in the family, so I was out of town for that. And then my wife has had some conventions that she's been doing for her jewelry, and so I've been busy watching our kid. And then I got a little sick this last week, and so it's just been sort of one of the, you know how it is, everybody. Sometimes things just get a little busy with life. And so it's been a minute since I've streamed, but things are going really well now. Everyone that is here is healthy, and I'm feeling good, and back to work, and back to the old grindstone, the old the old ball and chain here, the table. I hope you guys have all been good as well, and enjoyed your holiday weekend. So first, I'm going to talk about Operation Iron Coffin stuff, and then I'm going to show you guys a bunch of books I got at the Chicago Alternative Comics Expo it would have been 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks ago now. It was in May, earlier in May, I believe, and it was at the Irish American Heritage Center here in Chicago. It was an awesome show. I had a great time. I can't wait to show you guys some of the books that I got, because they're definitely different than some of the other stuff that I show on here. So yeah, let's see here. If this is, sorry for the loss. I appreciate that, man. I bet doing both line art and colors is a lot of work. It really is. I thought I could handle it. I mean, I am handling it, but it's just, it's a lot, but the stuff that I'm able to pull off in the book, because I'm doing my own colors, has been really fun. Things like this that I don't know if I would be able to do without some of that. So yeah, here, let me, before I flip through this, let me show you some original art. So we've been on a bunch of different podcasts lately. Let me give you a list of some of them here that you might know, hopefully. Where are they at here? All right. So just tonight we were on Comic Book Club Live. So that was on, I think, YouTube and a bunch of other places. That was the people I was talking to just earlier tonight with me and Kenny both. So go check that out. We were just on the Comics, Culture, and Cosplay podcast, their May 25th episode. We were on Hops Geek News on May 18th. We were on Paneloids on May 2nd. And I feel like there's more that we've recorded that have or have not dropped yet. We were on the FAQ, the Facts FAQS project on YouTube. That was a really fun interview. So if you check out my socials, you'll see some of those that I shared. I shared the ones on YouTube on my YouTube channel as well, so go check those out. I should put them down in the information. I'll see if that actually happens tonight when I finish it. But in any case, it's really fun that, we've been able to do a lot of press for it. And big shout out to IDW and especially Greg Katzman for setting up tons of media interviews for us and kind of getting us out there, because we're really excited about the book, and so to have the media behind it has been really great. We had a feature on League of Comic Geeks, which was really fun. I dive into some of the behind the scenes of how we make the pages and stuff, me and Kenny both. So if you go to League of Comic Geeks, you can also, if you go there, you can kind of use it as your hub for ordering your books and stuff and like finding shops. It's a cool website. We were on Fangoria, so if you go to Fangoria, you'll see an article about us. Sci-Fi.com and also IGN did an article about Iron Coffin, and so I'm probably missing some. Screen Rant did one as well, and then a bunch of different comic book websites, AIPT, a bunch. I'm forgetting them all right now, but it's been really cool, and all the interviews have been interesting and different, and so I encourage you to go support those shows and watch the interviews, not just for us, but for those shows as well. Let's see, art's name. Okay, art. All art names are taken. Been loving all the Iron Coffin content. Watching Dracula /Up Goons has been awesome. Thanks, I really appreciate that. Like this says, you're madman, Tyrell. Yes, respect the hustle. You got to, man. Teaching your first art class tomorrow. That's really cool. I hope it goes well, man. I mean, I love hearing that people are, learning art. But thank you guys for checking out stuff and being excited about the book. So some of the stuff that came out during the press was some new pages, some new artwork. And so I wanted to show, we revealed the issue 2 and 3 covers, which I think I showed the issue 2 cover on here before. I probably should have found this before I started the stream, but alas, as I've said, I'm shocked I even have a stream ready tonight. So. Well, here's the issue 3 cover, which we just revealed. This one was a blast. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm looking through pages from issue 2 right now, and I wish I could show you this stuff. I really am excited for you to see it. Okay, well, I can't find the issue 2 cover right now. I think it's because it's in my portfolio. But this is the issue 3 cover. We got our Drac perched upon the train. It looks like he has killed it. And he's got a lot of battle damage. When I drew this cover, though, I hadn't yet started the pencils and inks for issue 3, so I didn't have a full concept of how damaged he would be. But now that I am working on issue 3, I can tell you he gets even more damage than this. It gets pretty crazy, you guys. I cannot wait for you to read the stuff that Kenny and I have cooked up in this book. This cover was a tricky one to kind of figure out. I wrestled with it for a long time, and in the issue there's also some references to C.A.K.E in the artwork, and so I wanted to kind of continue that with the cover and sort of really lean into the ripped up clothes and the sort of knees out perched kind of look like a C.A.K.E would do sometimes. I mean, obviously this doesn't look like C.A.K.E. I'm not at his caliber, right? But like kind of my own version of it. So it's really fun, and I love drawing little bullet holes and scratch marks and stuff. So I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. And yeah, I will do, as each issue comes out, as I have in the past, I'm going to do full original art walkthroughs after the issues are out. So, maybe a week or two after issue 1 drops, I'll do a full walkthrough of every page of the original art. And that'll probably be preceding when I put it up for sale and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already subscribed and liking and belling and all that stuff, please do that now. IGN Screen Rant, I'm hitting all the big ones. That's right. I think this is coloring a cover for his first comic, a short 15-page comic. He wrote and lettered it too. Wow, man, that's awesome. Artist Mooney is a beast, and Jose Garcia, grayscaling and zip tone. Wow, man, that sounds really cool. Yeah, feel free to tell folks about it. That's super cool, man. I would love to see that. If you have any way to get it, let us know so we can pick it up. All right. So I want to show. Let's see. Let me show something that nobody has seen. Or maybe people have seen. Okay, here's a page that I think was in one of the previews. So this is a little peek at some of the action that we have going on in the book. This is when he's fighting the first villain, who's part of the first book, which you'll learn more about inside. I leaned into the speed lines and the tilting panels and trying to make the fights feel really kinetic and really fast, and also have a lot of directionality to them as your eyes led through the different panels. So really happy with how some of this stuff turned out. I'm playing up my abstraction as much as I can to make it just feel fast and dangerous. And man, guys, this Dracula that I've conceived here with Kenny is so much fun to draw. Like, so much fun to draw. I'm really happy with sort of, now that I'm playing with the design in the actual narrative, as opposed to just a cool character drawing. It's a really fun design to draw, and I cannot wait. I hope that some other folks feel that way, because I would love to see some other people's takes on the character. So there's a little sneak peek at some of the action. Again, really, really excited about this, and excited for you guys to see it. Anyway, so Iron Coffin, again, if you guys don't know, it's Dracula dropped onto World War II train of Nazis to stop them. This is the color preview that they printed up, and as you can see, it's got a lot of crazy stuff in it. We have a giant Nazi train. We have super-powered soldiers. We have a vampire virus, horror, action, gore, pathos. Here's the train. I drew every car we're going to go to and fight through is in the drawing here. So I really think you guys are going to dig it. So if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, go pre-order Operation Iron Coffin #1. Go ahead and put the series on there. It's only 3 issues. They're large issues, 40 pages, 30 pages, and 30 pages, and they're still only like $4 or $5. It's like a great deal. And even if you think you are going to want to trade on this, I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of double page spreads, and spreads look way better in floppies. So you're going to want to just get the floppies too, even if you're going to get the trade. We'll get that in focus again. All right. So that's enough about Iron Coffin for now. But what I do want to do now is show off some stuff that I got at C.A.K.E. So C.A.K.E is the Chicago Alternative Comics Expo. And really quick, I should check with the chat here. BMC Comics, woo, Tyrell, what'd you miss? Well, you'll have to rewind, man. All art names are taken. Yes, he is hyped. Colors are amazing. Love seeing your inks. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, doing the colors has been a wild ride, guys. I'm trying to figure it out. So Chicago Alternative Comics Expo is a convention that is put on here in Chicago. It's been going on since 2011, I want to say, 2012. And it is a show that is near and dear to my heart. I was an organizer for this show for the last few years, and I've been a special guest at this show, and I've tabled at every single C.A.K.E. This was the first year that I went to C.A.K.E. that I was not tabling or organizing. And it was wonderful to be there with, just as a person just walking around the show and getting to look at work. Because usually when I'm at a show, either tabling or organizing, you're really busy and you don't get to just sort of have these nice conversations and really find really cool artists and stuff. So I was really happy that I got to go. There's an insane list of people that were exhibiting. It's definitely an alternative comics kind of show, so you're not going to see Marvel and DC here. There are a few micro publishers and stuff. You know, we do have like Uncivilized Books, King Cat Comics, Avery Hill. There was some publishers there, but it's definitely a show that's focused more on artists, and usually artists that are writer, artist, printer, you know, everything. They're doing everything themselves, and so you get some of the most unique work you're ever going to find. If you've never been to an alternative comics show, find one in your area. There's definitely one by everybody. There has to be. And go. I mean, I am always blown away by the stuff that I find, and it feels like truly the cutting edge of the kind of stuff that you can do with comics. And this one in particular was a really great show. I had an awesome time. The organizers did a great job putting it on, and I couldn't have been more stoked just to be in there talking to artists and seeing new work that I'd never seen before. Such an exciting time. I had a really, really good time. So here's some of the work I got. Let me start with some of the little stuff. I didn't, unfortunately, have an unlimited budget, but I did. Oh, and by the way, I have a special treat at the end of the show for everybody if you stick around. It's not going to be a super long show, but I got a little funny treat at the end. These are some cards I got from people. I didn't get to buy stuff from everybody. And so this is Noctpapilio.cool. This person, I thought I had a book from. Maybe I'll have to look. This is Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis stuff is really cool. If you just go to Instagram, it's at Ryan Davis makes art. Really cool kind of designy stuff. Mad Sparrow. Come on, focus. Piece of junk. Mad Sparrow. Kind of cool, really kind of watercolory, nice work. Oh, shoot. Tony Chow stuff was really cool. There's a little space monkey there. Carmen Pizarro, awesome illustrator. Emma Jane. Ari Ganal, I probably am not saying that right, but these are people that struck me. And Comics Milo, or Milo. Okay. There's the little stuff. Let's keep that over here. Okay, let's start with my buddy Landis. My buddy Landis did this little book here, and it premiered at C.A.K.E. It's called Advice to a Young Dullard. And it is he's a funny guy. He collects pencil sharpeners. And, you know, it's kind of a funny little book that has these little things. The point of life is revealed to those who follow their own lead, but led, obviously. These kind of silly jokes and drawings of all these different pencil sharpeners from his collection. And Landis' style is incredible. It gives these everyday objects kind of a whole personality. Don't shave where you eat. Like, you know, don't want your pencil shavings there. It's pretty fun. It's a fun little book. You can pick it up on his website. He is on Instagram, Landis Blair. You can't miss him. If you've never heard of him before, he's one of my best buddies and a really amazing artist. Let's see. Okay, Ichthus got a plan for to release your new comic on Global Comics in July. We'll all look forward to that, dude. That is very exciting. Cheers to you. All right. So as I was going through the show, this is a thing that started maybe 10 years ago, because I was doing it then too, and that's like risograph printing. Risograph printing is kind of like the thing in self-publishing. And I don't blame them because it's a very unique look. It gives you lots of choices you don't get from a traditional photocopier or a traditional printer. And it makes the object have sort of this very specific look that it makes it stand out. Now, obviously the show had lots of people doing this, so they don't maybe stand out at an alternative comics show, but they do in the sense that some people do it really well and some people do it very poorly. And this is a book that I thought did it really well. This is a book by an artist named Anna Tu, or Anna 2. I didn't ask her if it's Anna or Anna, so I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. And this is printed by Diskette Press, and it is a risograph print, and it must be probably what, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 colors. It's really well done. Some of these folks are getting so good at using the risograph printers that they're pulling off some really cool effects. You'll see when you get some Riso books that there's going to be some ink kind of rub different places. It definitely has that sort of newspaper feel sometimes when you use it. The ink feels sort of lightly on the page. It's not like it's rich, but that lack of richness allows for a lot of layering effects and also sort of the paper texture and color to come through. So I really like what Anna's doing here with this book. Oh, and by the way, it's called Girl Yaoi. I never know how to say that, but basically it's Japanese manga that's like men's romance, or man on man romance and stuff, like love stories. And this book is really cool because she takes this concept, and look at the awesome hand lettering. I mean, all these people that we're going to see today pretty much hand letter their stuff, but she does these letter forms and introduces the different characters of these really strong colors. And as the book goes on, these two start having these sort of shared dreams where they're inside these different manga stories. And as she does the different manga stories, she sort of changes up her style just slightly so that it feels like the style of that sort of specific book. Now, I think a lot of them are made-up books. I don't actually know. I'm trying to make sure I don't get anything that's too graphic here on here. This book is a little graphic in parts. But yeah, you see, you can see the effect of the different inks too. You know, sometimes you can use them just solid by themselves, or you can overlay them. Like right here, you have the pink over the black, so it gives this kind of purple haziness to it. Let me find another example when they go inside some of these. Yeah, so here you see crystal teardrops in Belgravia, and they kind of have this more round eye style, and over here it's more of a horror type thing, and they have a different sort of look. You know, the hands are a little more prominent, the chins are a little sharper, the eyes are a little thinner and wider. Really fun paneling too, and the whole book is sort of a relationship story. This one's cool too, Drug Town. It's like a relationship story between these two people having these shared dreams, and it's the kind of thing that it's hard to explain, like how their relationship comes together and stuff. All I can say is if you can pick this up from Anna or from Diskette Press, or at your local shop if they carry it, I would recommend it. It's a really cool book, and Anna was very nice, and I enjoyed speaking with her for a little bit at the show. Greg Parker, happy Tuesday. Good to see you back. Thanks, man. Traveling to Detroit, but wanted to say keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Greg. That's really nice of you to stop by and give some encouraging words. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support that everybody's been showing me. It's been a wonderful time lately, and I need it. I appreciate it. All right, next we got Cran Magazine issue 0. I Believe in the Chicago Mothman. So this is a book put out by a friend of mine who's a cake organizer, but also just another comic maker and friend of mine, Andrea Pearson. That's a different friend of mine. Andrea Pearson runs a distro called Aquatic Panda Distro. So if you're self-publishing your books and you're looking for a distro, they're really great. And she also puts together different anthologies and stuff. So this is kind of like an anthology / comics, puzzles, games, trivia, and more. And it focuses on the Chicago Mothman. And I'm all in. I love cryptids and stuff, and like mythology, urban myths and stuff. And so when she told me they had a new thing that was about the Mothman, I was like, well, I got to pick this up. So I haven't had a chance to read all the stories yet, but it features a bunch of different artists kind of doing different things. Like this is sort of a history type thing. They've got a word search, the different locations Mothman was spotted, and then some comics. Pretty cool. A little maze. This reminds me, another couple friends of mine put out a book I've mentioned on here a couple times, and I'm going to mention it again. My friends Ed and Tony do a book called Full Bleed Zine, and it's all about horror, especially around Chicago, but it is interesting for people of other places. They do like write-ups on different movie series and tell you when all the screenings are. I wish I had one to show you right now, but I don't. But I do have some more comics here. Let's see. Next, let's do... here we go. This one was really cool. I can't remember if I had run across this artist in the past or not. Danades. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. I should know this, guys. I'm sorry that I didn't look up how to pronounce these words. But that's the beauty of comics, right? You don't have to actually say them out loud. That's the name of the book. The artist is Paige Mirror, and she was tabling at C.A.K.E. This book is stitched bound, which is really cool. I like that touch. And I was really into the style of the book. It's very much kind of feels like a poem, and the style of illustration is really cool. And I like how throughout the book you can see she sort of blurs the line between what's a drawing and what's a panel, and like how much do you need to, how efficiently can time and space be divided up, right? Like this is almost like two panels, but it's just the snippets of the drawings with the edges kind of clipped, and same thing here. And then at the same time, she has these really cool color shapes that make their own sort of sub shapes within each page layout. And then here it's just a line between the two to show the time. Everything is very iconographic, and it has a dreamlike feel to it, and it's very striking. It's very striking, and I really love the lettering. I'm not sure if that's a font, but it does look like hand lettering to me. I mean, there's a slight variation from letter to letter. You can see the brush strokes and the watercoloriness of it. It's a really neat effect. So this one, this was one of the images. I was like, man, that's really great. This one too. So I would definitely recommend checking out Paige's work. Paige Mirror, it's Mehrer. Really cool stuff. She was very nice also to talk to. All right. Next I'm going to do And Up They Sprung by Millie St. John. So Millie was one of the Cupcake Award winners last year. So one of the cool things about C.A.K.E. is that they award at least one, but it's been two the last couple of years, winners of a grant where they get paired with a mentor who's another comics person who maybe can give them some insight, and they get a budget to help them with printing. And they're awarded it based on a submission that they do of kind of like a pitch for their book. So they basically pitch their book to the C.A.K.E. organizational team, which gives it to a jury that jurors it, and then they select a winner, and that winner gets a mentor and a printing budget. And Millie is one of the winners, and Millie's work is really incredible. When I first came across it last year, I was one of the judges actually. I've been a mentor, and then I was one of the jurors, not judges, I guess, jurors for it. And so the previous year I'd been a mentor, which was really fun and really rewarding. And then when I got to see the new batch, Millie's work stood out immediately and was very exciting. And it was exciting because it was unique, and there was variation between the types of work that Millie's done. And the style, she definitely is willing to change up the style as the project demands it. And I've always felt kind of the same, where I feel like change your style based on what you're trying to do with the book. So this looks a lot different from Millie's other work. I should show some of her work. If I haven't before, I should show some of it. And side note, this is also risograph printed and hand stitched here. So this is the kind of stuff that makes these objects so much more fun and precious than they are if they're just mass produced. And that's not to say you shouldn't go buy Iron Coffin, which is mass produced. It's gonna look great anyway. But there is something wonderful about things that are made with hands, the hands of the artist. And so, yeah, she can do all these cool things. This is the cursed edition, she called it. She was explaining to me kind of a printing snafu that led to this one looking a little different, which I'll point out in a minute. And then it also has this little vellum insert here. And it came wrapped up, too, in a bag, but I don't know. I didn't want to keep it in the bag right now. So what happened was the printer she was using had an issue where they had run out of their black color. And because of some sort of supply chain issue, the one that they were supposed to have, they normally wouldn't run out, wasn't going to come. But to get this done in time for the show, they had to print it. And so they have some blue that is seeping in the different areas. And some pages are printed blue as black. So it gives it an interesting feeling. The final version will obviously be consistent, but Millie's stuff is kind of hard to make out at this scale. I don't want to zoom in too much further, but there's a lot of care put into everything, but also there's a lot of whimsy in the way that Millie makes lines. The lines feel sort of like they're being kind of just birthed onto the paper like freely, and there's such a joy to them. I love this hell here, and the way the figure here has the pink matched with this pink here, and it's like a hot pink. It's probably not coming across perfect on the camera, but it's a hot pink. And here you can see the blue kind of situation again. But it's hard to explain, too, in a flip through what makes Millie's work so special. Part of it is the way, I love the way Millie draws. There's this sort of, to me it feels really analogous to graffiti and sort of cartoon stylizations that you see in things like graffiti and caricature art and cartoons and all that, but there's these moments where these other things pop out very delicately. It's really cool stuff. I'm having a hard time flipping this here, sorry. But really striking, stuff. I really do think Millie is one to watch. There's such a unique quality to her work, and I really, really love it. Look at this Jesus up here guy, this Jesus guy. Really cool hand lettering, just crazy balloons, but still can do like a really effective grid. To have a page like this next to a page like this, that's what I like about Millie's work, and that's what's exciting to me about a lot of comics, is when there's this sort of ability to kind of do these collage-y pages that are very splash kind of pages, and then these basic 9-panel grids. That's what it's all about. Look at that. That's a really cool image. This stuff is great. I'm assuming, I hope that Millie has these up for sale on her website. Look at that pink. Woo! Guys, that's like vibrating. So cool. Anyway, not going to spoil any of the story or anything, but this is something I would definitely recommend checking out. Millie St. John is her name, and I believe it's her. I apologize, Millie, if I'm getting that wrong. Oh, and Pidge, who's an awesome comics maker, was the mentor for Millie. Oh, yeah, I was the award judge. Me and Marnie Galloway, which I'll get to in a minute. And then thanking some friends of ours, Isabella Rotman. Really cool. Check out Millie St. John. And Up They Sprung. That's the name of the book. The art and hand lettering is amazing, says like this. I agree. Gotta go grab some art supplies for tomorrow. Have fun. Thanks. All art names are taken. Appreciate you stopping by. Okay, one more book from C.A.K.E, and then I have a fun little special treat for everybody that sticks around. So this, speaking of, Marnie was one of the other judges this last year when we picked Millie. So again, I'm biased, but I'm biased because I picked Millie out of hundreds of people that we saw. But Marnie Galloway is a dear friend. She is a comic maker and comic art professor and comic art maker, and so many other things. Marnie's an amazing person and an amazing illustrator and comic artist that I've been a fan of ever since I met her back at, this would have been C.A.K.E 2012 or something, probably 2013 maybe even, yeah, something like that. I met Marnie, and her work hangs in my house. She makes great work. But Marnie is also, above all these things, a really great mom. And one of the things that Marnie and some of my other friends do that I have never had the bravery to do. I've done the Inktober challenge where you do an ink drawing every day, and I usually do a comic or something for it. But there's also 24-hour comics day where you do a comic every hour for 24 hours. Now, obviously, there's some leeway left in there if you want to sleep, as long as you sort of catch up on some of them. A lot of people will do it in sort of a way where, you know, the first few hours they'll do maybe 3 or 4, you know, for those first few hours in the first hour or two. There's a lot of different ways you can approach it. But the idea is less about doing it in the 24 hours than it is about the process of like trying to use a comic panel or a comic page for a span of a day or an hour, right? And like, how does that work? So it's usually like a panel every hour, or some people will do a page every hour. And it's kind of like the most dialed in specific journal you could do, right? And so what Marnie did is she did kind of a day in the life of herself, and then, you know, so based on her 24-hour comics, which were much more crude because you're doing them faster, she did a little more developed version of some of the stuff that happened that day. And it's a really fun just peek into her life. And one of the fun decisions she made was she let her children decide how they wanted to be drawn in the comic. So one's a snake and one's a raccoon. And it's funny because when you see the way the two creatures behave, they are sort of very much like those animals, and it's funny that the kids picked those. I'm assuming that's true, that they actually picked those animals for themselves. But Marnie's drawings are very neat and beautiful, and feel very, even though they're simple, they still feel very embellished, and they feel very complete. I've always been in awe of her ability to represent things in sort of an iconographic way that still feels textured and rich, you know, instead of flat. And the fact that most of these are based on her 24-hour comics is, and they're, I mean, I've seen some of them, I think, when I was talking to her, they're not that far off from here. But she does incredible work. Look at this up here. I like the way these are the kind of things when you do your own comics, your own lettering, that you can really do, is you can overlap balloons, and you can put different types of lettering depending on who's talking, right? It can be, you know, cursive, it can be lowercase, uppercase. You can kind of make every letter becomes a little more expressive, and I really like that. This is her pushing stuff through the snow here. This is quite a day. But look at all the way that she fills in the space with the balloons, and the lettering, and the types of lettering, and the size of lettering. It's almost like the way the panel works is it's a culmination of all those things. It's true comics, because it's not just a cool drawing with some generic lettering over it. It's the lettering and the drawing and the balloons are all one thing. They're all the comic. You know, it feels a lot less of a thing broken down into its parts. And then these little touches of color. Gosh, Marnie is so good at this. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful little subtle shifts and changes. So check out Marnie Galloway. Snake and Raccoon's her latest, but she has a lot of beautiful books. In the Sounds and Seas is my personal favorite. Okay. It says the art and hand lettering is amazing. I agree. Last thing here, guys. So I was back home for a memorial service. My grandfather passed away. He was an amazing person. He made it to 91 and had a peaceful journey out, and very happy about all that. And we will miss him, though. But while I was back, some people had cleaned out some of the other old folks' houses, and this is kind of hard to read, but this is a little story that I wrote when I was maybe, I don't know, second grade, something like that, maybe younger, first or second grade. It's called Why Fainting Goats Faint. And so when my family's from southern or central Illinois, is where a big part of my family is from, and they are, you know, farmers and stuff. And one of my uncles had an exotic animal farm, in addition to all of his other regular farm stuff. My Uncle Wilbur used to also race stock cars. Anyway, he had all these crazy animals on his farm. So he had like elk and different kinds of deer and ostriches and wolves and like guineas and all these crazy animals. And one of the ones that he had was fainting goats. Which, if you guys have never seen fainting goats, look them up on the internet. They're pretty funny. They're these little goats, and they've been bred to or evolved to. I'm not sure how they got to be this way. I didn't do the research for this. I'll tell you in a minute in the story. But when you scare them, they lock up and freeze and kind of fall over dead. And I thought the logic of them, if they were bred that way, was that the wolves would take those and not the other sheep. I think was what was explained to me as a child. I don't know if that's true. Anyway, he had a fainting goat, and I thought it would be funny to write. I had an assignment to write a story about, like, make my own myth, was I think the assignment. So here's an old Tyrell drawing right here. You can see I got crayon all up on here. This is my fainting goat. Those little goat horns. I got some grass and stuff around here. And this is cut out. So even back in these days, just like now, I'll make mistakes and stuff, and I'll cut them out and stick them on different things. And then the paper is in here. But I'm not going to read the whole story to you here, but it's called Why Fainting Goats Faint. And the gist of it is that a long time ago, there was a goat, and he wanted to be better than all the other animals. And so he made a bet with the gods that, he will, if he passes a test, that the gods will make him the most superior animal. And so the test he comes up with is that he won't get scared from a thunderstorm. But then, of course, he does get scared by the thunderstorm. And so then, instead of being made superior to the other animals, he's cursed by being a goat that faints whenever he's scared. And that was the myth that I made up. But it's fun because I have a daughter now, and she's around this age, and she's been writing stories. And it was fun to go home for a sad event, but to see lots of family and say goodbye to one of them and remind each other through this. Here I reminded myself of this continuum of just storytelling and passing down things like art to each other and encouraging that. So anyway, I hope y'all are also encouraging your kids and your parents are encouraging you to continue to make art and consume art and engage with art, because it's really important to me. So in any case, this is your final reminder. Go pre-order Operation Iron Coffin. It is due by June 1st. You got to get those pre-orders in. The book comes out July 8th. It's going to be 3 issues. You will not regret it. It's some of the best stuff that I've ever drawn, and I can't wait for y'all to check it out. So thank you guys for coming to my stream. I know it's been a minute, and hopefully when the book starts coming out, I'll be able to do some really cool updates for every issue where I walk through the original art and talk about the process and give you guys some insights into how I put it together. I'm actually looking forward to that very much, so that I can spend some time on here giving you all a behind-the-scenes look on the book. So subscribe, like, all that jazz, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out with me.